right, good morning and thank you for tuning in to 980 WDDO. It's your God brother, your God son, your God nephew, Vertise. The Rosie. Getting ready to go into drive time. Hey, Chantrell. Chantrell. Let's see what our drive time song is going to be this morning. Good morning to you. Thank you for always being the best part. 980 WDDO. This is our drive time song this morning. Good morning to you.
Time is filled with swift transition.
Oh.
A move can stand.
Come on in. Hey, G Mom, I got you over here.
Build your hopes on things eternal. You better hold to my God's unchanging.
Everybody ought to hold to his hand.
Everybody ought to hold to his hand. God's unchanging hand. Everybody ought to hold to his hand.
Hold to his hand now. Good morning, Mama Jean, Mother Jones, Mother Cole, Mother Clay, Miss Patricia, praying for you. Good morning, Major Woodford, Dale Warren, EJ. Good morning to you. Good morning, Bishop Don Harris Scott. Good morning to you, Superintendent, First Lady of the Height. Good morning to you. It's a great day. All right, let's go through this Color Road. Darcina, hey, how's cooking school? Cam, can you turn on that shade?
Everybody ought to hold to his hand. God's unchanging. You gotta be. Everybody ought to hold.
All right, let's go to drive time. Good morning to you, right here, 980 WDDO. Hear that voice?
That's not it. That's not it. That's not it.
Man, yesterday was awesome.
Wait,
show.
wait. That's it.
Drive time. You know, mine's had to be awesome. There we go. 1, 2. All right, good morning to you, and thank you for tuning in to 980 WDDO. This is your God brother, your God son, your God nephew, Vertise Z. Rosie. It's drive time where the entire community and our world, we get together, we live, we love, and we laugh. 107.9 FM on your dial. 980 WDDO, where we are connecting the community through gospel music. It's drive time. It's Hot Topic Wednesday right here with Vertise Z. Rosia. All right, Bishop Don Scott is on this morning. Come on, Bishop. Good morning to you. Let's call the roll. Good morning, Bishop Don Harris Scott. Good morning, Shirley A. Lester. She's not lesser. She's Lester. Good morning, caller. You on there?
What up, Vertise?
Man, what's going on, man? Yeah.
No.
Don't do that.
Your regular voice.
Don't
you
do that.
Sound right.
That's not even.
You don't
Yeah,
sound right.
Well, you know, it is true. It is true because I think I have a high range voice.
Yeah, every man wasn't intended to have a deep voice. Why are you laughing? I'm being serious.
I know you are. That what made it funny, fool. Every woman wasn't intended that. No offense, Auntie Lane. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Oh.
Leave Auntie Lane alone.
Well, Auntie Lane be saying some stuff to me after we get off station.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, I'm talking about some heavy stuff. You picking up what I'm putting down?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
I got you. What's the hot topic for today?
Well, I was going to let you come up with it.
No. Because if I hadn't called, you were going to still have to have one.
No, I wasn't either.
No.
Because I was going to call
yes,
you.
No.
Now, you know I will text you in a minute.
You will now.
You know what I saw the other day?
What did you see?
He still he had a bunch of back in his mouth. You remember Callaway at the school?
Oh, Callaway Butler, yes, sir.
Yeah.
He's
Man.
still alive.
Yeah, man.
He still lives in Spring Valley.
And still really across the street from Tan.
Mm-hmm.
And I told Tan, I said, listen, one thing about it, you ain't got to worry about nobody bringing it in your house because he going to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir. I just said yes, sir.
So
what's the topic?
I don't know. Jesse J. I don't know. What? Give me a hot topic. Somebody give us a hot topic. What you think would be a good hot topic for today?
I don't know. I hadn't really thought about it.
I was thinking about it on the way down the road.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
You don't know?
Well, I don't know. I need a hot topic. Bishop, come up. But let's see what everybody is saying. Did you really make the basketball, or was that a doctored shot? Okay.
Why didn't you dribble? That's the hot topic.
Okay.
Papa traveled on that play.
Wait a minute now. You have to understand that okay, let me tell you what really happened on that situation. All right, because I like to be out there with my youth. And so they did the shot that I finally made. I had made like 3 or 4 and missed.
I understand.
You got
but
what I'm saying?
talking about you didn't dribble one time. You just ran from where you were and shot the ball. But I kind of understand because the bottom of the
shoes
slippery on that concrete.
Man, that's hot topic for today. Why don't you dribble? No, that's not really good. Yeah. Well, first of all, I was afraid I was going to slip. I really was. But
I understand.
Hey, be honest though, it was good. It was a nice shot.
Yeah, you made a layup, and you were real crunk afterwards.
I've always. I mean, I go to you. You've been in my church, right? Antonio came to my church and said, basically, okay, y'all.
You have to be in shape.
I know what he said. Do you hear this fool, Bishop? You got to be in shape. Why you got to be in shape to come to our church?
Shape, man. If you have bad knees, anything, it's going to tell on you. If you're trying to take part in the service, it's going to tell on you.
But you have to admit, we go in for church. We go. You're going to know you've been to church.
You do. Y'all have nice service. I enjoy it whenever I come.
Man, we want you to come preach for us.
What you do? What I missed yesterday?
Wait, woo! Yesterday.
I was grabbing himself.
Yeah, it was the considered question after the video was, this is the hot topic. What? You were very, you went to a certain region after you made the shot.
Did you see me after I made the shot?
Yes. You went to a certain region after you made the shot.
That's what TT said. TT said, what was going on with you? All right? Yeah.
I was like, he made a basketball shot. What was all that?
I know. What? Hey, listen, when you confused and don't really know what you're supposed to do.
You don't know how to celebrate, so you just were caught up in the moment.
I didn't know which moment I was in. I was like, am I a thug? Am I a gangster? Am I a pastor?
So you were conflicted.
It was which way did it go? Which way did it go? You remember that now?
What do I do?
What do it do? Which way did it go? Which way did it go? But yeah, I did have some stuff going on afterward. And it's still trending today. It's still trending today.
Yeah, man, I laughed so hard.
I don't know what be going through my head, man. I don't know. Wait a minute. Did you go back and look at it again?
Yes, I did. I was like, did he just do what I thought he did?
Bishop, come up. Did he just do that with his clergy on? He got his.
Did
He's
he
got a,
just do? I thought it was okay. Church not my anointed. Okay.
Hey Moses. Hey Moses. What is that in your hand?
That don't look like a rod, Moses. Oh God.
Shut up, boy. Shut up.
Can't stretch that out,
Hey,
Moses.
shut run over. Boy, you talking about going viral. You talking about
Oh
going
God.
viral.
Oh.
Boy,
Oh
you got
man.
tears about boy, something wrong with you, man. I was
Oh man.
I was
But it
conflicted.
was just good, man. See you out there having fun with the youth, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It was.
Because in we're in Bible study, we're studying. I'm reading this book called The 5 Star Church,
Uh-huh.
and you have to be people oriented. If the church is going to be successful, it has to be people oriented,
It has to be. That's the only way it's successful. Man.
and that means all people,
Getting involved. Huh?
all people,
That's right.
seasoned saints,
That's
the
right.
youth as well.
That's right. You know what?
Because a lot of time the youth get left out.
Yes, but you know what? L.J. Malone came to our church Sunday, and he was part of our service. He came to all three churches, and he said to me in the car, he says, I observe your service, and he says, what I love about your service, your service is you empower everybody from the youth to
That's
the
how it's
older.
supposed to be.
Yes, man, that's amazing. Yeah, generally you don't say nothing, but you said something this morning.
Hey, well, normally I say what I say, and whether you like it, that's on you.
I say
But I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say.
But you said what you said.
Because I said what I said.
Because
when I said what I said, because it was mine to say.
And you are a sayer. You are a sayer. Huh?
Exactly.
Huh? And when you're a sayer, you say what you said. Cause saying what you said don't mean that say it was saying.
But I wouldn't be a sayer if I was afraid to say what I have to say.
And I wouldn't be ready to die. Go tell it on the. I don't know. It was just it sounded like we were going. Go tell it on the mountain. Bishop Scott, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning, Bishop.
He is a savior.
Good morning.
He is a savior.
What's the topic, man? What's the topic? So I can say what I got to say and go on about my business.
Well, I don't know. I think, Bishop, what's a good hot topic?
I don't know. I mean, for this morning, there's a lot that's happening this week. So, what we going with? I don't know. What's necessary to talk about today? Because we like to hit an issue. So whatever is necessary to talk about, let's talk about it.
What's necessary? What do you think is necessary?
What's on the
oh man, that's a whole
what's on the big board today?
Well, there's a whole lot
going on. It's a lot going on. So pick one.
Okay.
Well, we got an interview, but that ain't the hot topic.
Yeah, let's go with the what do we want to deal with? Public issues, or do we want to?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I think something that's worth talking about is the jailhouse. Why is the jailhouse rocking?
Yeah, the jailhouse is rocking.
The jailhouse is rocking. And
reeling like a drunken man.
You know what I think a good hot topic is inmate lives matter too.
They do.
Now that's true.
They do.
It makes
that's very true.
Just because they committed a crime does not mean that they should be subjected to inhumane treatment.
That's right. That's right. And while we saying that, I want to say to all the officers that work, everybody you stop ain't a criminal. Be nice.
Because at the end of the day, a lot of times they're frowned upon for what they did.
Right. That's the truth.
But if God can't forgive them,
right.
And see, a lot of times we with our saved, sanctified, and Holy Ghost filled selves, we like to look down upon people.
That's
right. This is true.
But we've done some things too. The only thing, the difference is we're not incarcerated. We didn't get caught.
Right. That's it.
That's heavy. But for the jail to be the way it is,
That's
uh,
it's deplorable.
it's embarrassing. I mean, with all the money, we built this big theater. We got all this other stuff going on, and I just think that to have an infested place, not only infested but overcrowded, horrible conditions. How do you just walk past it? First of all, if I work there, I'll be afraid I'm gonna take some home.
Well, a lot of times, things fly under the radar until light is shined upon it. You know,
Yes.
a lot of times you don't know that person might have roaches unless you there when the lights are off and they turn them on and you see them
You
scatter.
see them scattered. That's like that little boy girl said they said she says, tell the people what we have. She says turkey, and she says ham. We have ham, and we got roaches.
That's what we have.
Us got turkey.
And
Us
the
got
fact
ham.
the fact that something so deplorable could
Right.
happen to that person, that young man,
Yeah,
and it not be
man.
known, no one saw it for almost a week.
But to know that this young man is disfigured for the rest of his life,
That's traumatizing.
it is.
It
It
really
is.
And
is.
I get it. 21, he did something and he was there, but no one should have to go through that.
Better believe it. You
Right.
better believe it.
They're still human beings, and if you're gonna house them correctly.
How's him correctly? That's correct. That's correct.
You
And
know, how, you know,
and
it's-
I think that if we don't as a because 90 I mean I hate to say this, but
the majority of them look like us.
look like us. And if the majority did not look like us, I'm just wondering, would it look like that?
Oh,
Because
absolutely not.
what affects
That's a valid and that's a poignant question.
but it really is. And you know why,
And
Pastor? Because whatever you do to, sometimes we look at the criminal or what they've done. God forgive them, we love them anyhow. But the whole fact is, what you do to my family in jail, you affect my whole family. You affect
yeah,
all of us.
Right.
this is true. And it just it my heart my heart was on the verge of my heart melted when I saw those
Yeah.
pictures and saw what happened to the young man. And I don't know all of the ins and outs as far as funding and things of that nature. You hear that that it's short staffed. You hear that the way that it was built, it wasn't built in a manner conducive to being able to properly oversee the inmates at all times. And my question is, who designed it?
Well, yeah, but let's go further. Now I do question some things. Is a lot of these people that's in jail are in for little small stuff.
Hmm.
Can't get a bond or a speeding ticket. What is going on with our court system that we're not moving through these cases and getting these little minute things
It's
to get these people
backlogged.
out of here?
Not just
It's
that.
backlogged. It
Not
seems
just
like
that.
everything in the city is backlogged because even in
Right.
my line of work, there are certain documents that I have to have in order to move forward, and it takes a month of Sunday.
To get it done.
But remember that there's a fiduciary gain for the time that they're in there. You get
Yeah,
paid for the
there is
prisoners.
funding for the entire
Right.
time. They're not being housed for free.
Wow.
So right. So
But
there's
everything's
money that
backed
comes.
up.
So if I keep you in here, then I'm getting some money.
Get somebody. And it's the stuff is so backed up. I mean, we had to call the plumber the other week because we backed up too. So the city stuff backed up. I mean,
So let's just be honest.
Zip was backed up.
Backlogs do happen. They do
True.
We
happen.
do
They
But
do.
understand.
what are we effectively doing to alleviate the backlog?
So a
How are
lot
we
of
approaching
times
it?
when backlogs happen, we have to address the fact of how is the work being done? Is it being done
Uh, uh,
effectively?
That's
Or
what
is
I'm
it being
saying.
done at all?
listen,
Is
listen.
the
Mhm.
system in place the system that most efficiently fits
True.
what we're
True.
trying to accomplish?
Yeah, but I
True.
hate to make this, and I'm not
True.
trying to make this a black and white thing. But if we had a black sheriff and that jail looked like that, they would destroy him. and we had a minority white in there, they would destroy
Well,
the man.
that's
I mean, I'm just saying, y'all may
that's
not
the
see what I'm
nature.
saying.
That's the nature of how things are. I, do I wish it was not like that? Yes,
Yeah,
but and when we say things of that nature, then we get accused of playing the race card.
but it's the truth
And
card.
thank you. I was in a conversation a couple days ago, and you can't tell me to look past something, and it's staring me right in my face.
Right in my face.
Facts.
Right in my face.
It's
Facts.
staring me in my face, and you're telling me to just look past it.
Right.
I can't look past it
Right.
because it's a glaring problem. And the only way that the problem will ever be solved is to accept the fact that it is a problem.
But that, speaks to the fact that most times when there is a problem that deals with us, we are told that it's not a problem because it's not a problem for anybody
Yeah,
other than us.
it's a figment of our
Right.
imagination,
Exactly. Exactly.
and that, but that's a problem.
This is
The
true.
whole community has seen that it's a problem. So
Right.
now, what do we do? It's time out for photo ops. It's
Yes,
time
it
out for
is.
us.
True.
It's time out for us gathering in majority black congregations, pitching a pity party.
Right.
Right. I agree with that.
I'm not here to show sympathy. I'm not here, I empathize, but I'm not here to show sympathy because what are you doing?
Right.
Because,
Mhm.
see, on my job, I'm held to a standard.
I'm tell to a stand.
Exactly.
That's
And
right.
if I don't perform to that standard, then one or two things are going to happen.
Right.
I'm going to improve, or they're going to find someone else to do the job that they're paying me
Right.
to do.
Improve or be
And,
removed.
and, and
There
the
you
thing
go.
is that they come up with so many excuses, but I think excuses are like buttholes.
But,
Everybody got one.
yeah, and most of them stink.
But what they call that stuff they got on Facebook, it does work.
You
I mean,
know,
not that I know anything. I don't know nothing about that. I'm just saying.
but my thing is, oftentimes, elected officials, we turn a blind eye a lot of times because we like the person.
We talked about that
Facts. We talked
yesterday.
about that yesterday.
We
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 talked
did.
like
about
the
that
person.
yesterday.
We like the person, and we don't do our due diligence as far as holding them
Accountable.
accountable.
Right.
Right.
It's just
And
like the commissioners. All the commissioners have to go through a school or go through some type of training.
they go through training.
But if I appoint you to be the commissioner, you don't have to go through any training. Nothing is said about that. But Donnie's got to
But
go. Commissioner got to go.
that's wrong.
Oh,
That's wrong. If
yeah.
the elected one has to go through it, the appointed one should go through it too.
Yeah.
Facts.
That's what we're
Because
facing, though.
This
you
is
have
facts.
training and development is important in any aspect of life.
You better believe it. Cultivation.
Because even we as pastors, if we don't study, if we don't properly train those under us,
Right.
we don't study to hone our craft, then we can't perform up to the standard that has been set forth.
That's right.
So
And we'll
true.
say stuff like, "You a mess with two S's."
Yeah, a mess with two S's.
Shots
But
fired.
my thing is, my thing, but
Look at
my
like
thing
Caroline.
is,
Look at the
if and this accountability thing, if you know something
Mm-hmm.
and I don't,
Right.
tell me.
Right.
Right.
That's exactly right.
But even
Hell.
with that, be open to hear when somebody is telling you, because at the end of the day, we honestly don't know everything. And so when
But
No
information is
one knows.
presented,
No one
No
exactly.
one knows everything.
yeah,
So when the
So if
information
I'm
is
not
presented, at
privy-
least be willing to learn it.
that's right.
If I'm not privy to the information, be willing to share it.
Right.
But
Because knowledge attained is no good if you don't share it.
if you don't
This
share.
is true.
But like she said, they destroyed Victor Hill, black sheriff in Clayton County,
Oh,
because
Victor Hill went through it.
he
He
went through.
did.
He went through
But
it.
let's be honest.
But-
Every criminal will tell you the last place that they wanted to go to jail was Clayton County
Clayton
when
County.
Victor Hill was there.
Yeah, you ain't going to jail in Clayton County. And then too, Bishop Scott, that is so true. that with Victor here, what he did was restrain someone. What is different from what's happening here? This is
Right.
this is criminal. Rats crawling, overcrowded, cold. People are sick. People. What? Who's held as Doctor? Reverend Odom
Again,
said, who's held accountable for
who's
that?
held accountable for it?
No
Right.
one is.
And a lot of times we get the horse and pony show, and well, we don't have this, we don't have that. And you all know, as pastors, a lot of times we don't have what we need, but we have to make do.
Yeah,
Right.
but guess what
Exactly.
we keep doing?
So
We keep
now, if you don't have it, you do have something,
right.
Hmm.
But then
right?
right
So you have to put the most effective plan of action in
in
place
place.
to capitalize on what you do have
Right.
Right.
until you can get something better.
And then I don't know whether you heard today, but an inmate is dead this morning.
Oh my God.
An
Wow.
inmate is dead this morning. And but this is my issue. We vote these people in. We elected the same sheriff. We want to do another mayor, another year. We see the same stuff happening based on a lot of promises made to get in office. It seems as though to me that once people get in office, they don't care no more. It's like,
Exactly.
Well,
okay,
what happens is it's like when the man is courting the woman, right?
right,
Oftentimes you'll say what you need to say
together,
to get what you're trying to get,
right.
and then once you get it, hey, I got it.
Wow, wow. But every dog wagging
So
his
now-
tail ain't friendly.
Well, no, every dog wagging his tail is
Ain't
not
friendly.
friendly. So we have to keep our antennas up.
But it's
Right.
almost like we're afraid to say, hey, Mayor Miller, Sheriff Davis, hey, listen, this stuff is ridiculous. And guess what's going to happen? Amzie said it best. I like what she said. She said they were more worried about school cameras, which was generating money, and forgetting to call the plumber to flush the toilets in the prison, in the jailhouse.
Yeah. Well, when those cameras, those cameras generated a lot of money because I gave them like $1,200.
Oh Lord.
Well, the Roscoe Tours gave them quite a bit. Y'all told us that day to slow down when we was.
But school wasn't in. You see what I'm saying? That's part of the issue. School wasn't going on at the time, even though the
We
light
got
was
the ticket.
flashing.
No, it
They
was.
should have corrected it. Come on. If school
But
is not in session, then there should not be a charge, and that should have been
but
corrected and
people,
refunded.
but we've all dealt with people that would do as much as they can get away with until they can't get away with it anymore.
Yeah,
This is
but
true.
also too, Bishop Scott and Reverend Oldham, I think a lot of times the reason we step back is because we have allowed people to give us favors. I looked out for your son when he was,
This is
and
true.
I got them cigarettes, and then
This
I
is
made
true.
Yeah,
sure
not only favors, but a lot of times we're afraid of retaliation.
retaliation, and
Right.
that's what's happening now. Blackballing is going on because you didn't support me. We're not going to support you, and But listen, we
Right.
got a community of our own that we're able to make happen whatever we want to happen. Let's
Well,
be true about it.
you all have heard me say it before. Why do we keep fighting to be at that table when we have the resources and we have enough know-how to build our own table?
Hold on a minute. I have some guests. And look, y'all better be smiling when y'all come on. Y'all sitting there looking all mean and mad. I'm like, what the world? I got thousands of people looking at y'all.
We did not know that we were actually going to be seen.
Oh,
So,
really?
yeah, but we're good. We're
But
good.
you
We are.
look
I mean,
good.
you
We
made
stay
us.
ready not to get ready, but
Come
All
we're
right,
ready.
on.
now
That's
that's what
what.
Jesus
That's
Right,
what.
if you
said.
stay ready,
That's
you don't have to
you're
get
right,
ready. That's
boy.
right.
She came in here strong, and
Yes, she
then
did.
what's her name got her hair laid to the side, baby.
Yes, she
got that.
does, doesn't she?
Is
Why
that
do we
razor
say
cut? This is
yes, yes?
what you say. Yes. Listen, Reverend Odom, stay right there. Good morning. How are you all?
We're great. How are you?
We're good. Glad to have you on our Drive Time 107.9 FM on your dial. Tell everybody who you are and what's going on. What we got to look forward to. What's coming up.
So we are Shared Love Incorporated, and we are hosting our first annual Exceptional Mother's Day brunch. I'm finna say April, May 3rd which is
Okay.
this coming Saturday from 10 to 2 at the Lundy Chapel on Forest Hill Road. We are an organization that serve individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. And we
Oh,
just wanted to bring the community together to celebrate all mothers, especially those who don't really get to, receive the love and support from the community that they so deserve. So
I
we
see.
hope everyone can come out. We have tickets on Eventbrite. Just look for the Shared Love Exceptional Mother's Day Brunch and purchase your ticket to reserve your seat. We have a lot of
Awesome.
door prizes.
Awesome. Quick question for you. Give everybody the address, not only the address, but the time and is there tickets for this event?
Yes, we have the tickets on Eventbrite, or you can see a committee member. The ticket price is $25, and it's going to be held at Lundy Chapel. And the address for Lundy Chapel is 2081 Forest Hill Road,
Or you
and that's here in Macon, Georgia. And we also wanted to say we have plenty of door prizes, and it's for exceptional mothers. So we want all the mothers to come out, and they will be blessed.
Wow, man, that's that.
that's good.
What allowed you to create this vision? What because this is your first one, and we really want it to be big and supportive of the community. What was your vision that brought this on?
So, in serving, we started out serving the youth. We want to
Okay.
empower, we're committed to changing, and we just wanted our youth at first to be
Yes,
able
ma'am.
to receive those support and services that are really not tapped into. The school system has their mission, their vision. The community really, we need to support those individuals more.
That's right.
But you can't support the child without supporting the parents.
Yeah,
It's
right.
just, it's a hand in hand. So in thinking about what we could do for the mothers, we just decided to do an exceptional Mother's Day brunch because we already celebrate the kids through our Glow Night Out. And something is coming down the pipes for fathers as well. We're not gonna forget them. But
We was just waiting. We was just waiting. We
I
was just
figured,
waiting.
I sort of figured that. Well,
Girl, don't make me take my glasses off. I can't see you. I got them off. Hold on. I can see you now.
well, I don't have anything to say about that. Something is coming down the pipes for our
Awesome.
fathers as well.
Yes.
But we do believe in family and we do believe in supporting the whole family. So that's pretty much what spearheaded the Exceptional Mother's Day brunch.
I think it's awesome. How much are the tickets and where can they purchase tickets at?
The tickets are $25 and they can be purchased on Eventbrite. They just have to go to Shared Love Exceptional Mother's Day brunch.
It's
Can
called what?
you can you shoot me
Shared.
a link? Can you shoot me a link to that real quick, and I will put it in the chat so
In
everybody
the
can get
chat.
to it.
Yeah.
Okay. All
Okay.
right. Let me put my phone. Okay. I,
Now, the
I'm
the
listening.
the the industry that you have here is a nonprofit organization, or can you receive sponsorship? We have thousands of people watching this morning. Can you receive sponsorships for things that you're doing?
We welcome sponsorships and donations. We are an accredited 501c3 organization. We run off of donations and
Awesome.
fundraising. We are moving into preferably service funding, which is where the community can actually pay us for services or the state can pay us for services.
Awesome.
We just became approved for the Georgia Promise vendor scholarship.
Yes. Yes.
And
Awesome.
as soon as the enrollment period opens up, we're able to take those students for tutoring services.
Wow.
It is our desire to eventually open up a school which, service our individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. So everything sort of works hand in hand in making sure that the student is served, but not leaving the family out.
Man, this is amazing. Bishop, you have a question for?
No, I'm just excited about what they have going on. I'm very excited about the event this weekend. We've been advertising it, for a little over a month now,
Yes.
just to get the word out and let everybody know. But just in meeting with these ladies, it was just refreshing to find out exactly what they're doing for the community,
Right.
how they're doing it, through their own efforts. And like she said, they're just getting to the place where they can do service funding. But prior to now, they've just been raising the money and doing it themselves, giving back to the community as
Wow,
well.
that's
So
awesome.
that's why we like to highlight things like this, because they're doing such an exceptional job
Yes.
themselves in getting this
I
thing
like
done.
that, Bishop.
Yes, yes.
Any questions for him, Reverend Odoms?
No, no, I've been hearing the advertisement on you all station, and I just want to tell them that's what they're doing is an exceptional thing.
Awesome.
It's an exceptional thing.
Well, listen, we certainly support you all. Thank you all so very much for choosing 107.9 to advertise your services, and we certainly appreciate you. And we're going to be pushing this, asking that this community go and support this program on Saturday. This Saturday, let's flood the place. Let's let them know that we are united and we're ready to go forward with them. Togetherness, a place of something, a place of pushing them and supporting them is our prayer. Now, I'm just curious, what church you all? Are you all from local churches here?
We are. I
We
am
are.
a member of Beulah Land.
And
Beulah
I'm a
Land.
member.
Yes.
And I'm a member of St. Peter Baptist Church, where Willie L. Finney Sr. is my pastor.
Yeah, I want you to come visit me because I can tell you go to church because baby you be rocking you hallelujah.
That's
She
right.
wasn't the one that pushed that preacher past. Preach,
That's it.
pastor.
That's it.
That's her.
The amen coming all day.
Well, thank you, ladies, for joining us. We will be pushing this. Anything you all want to add?
Yes, we are donating 2 tickets to the radio station to be
Awesome.
given out to exceptional mothers within the community. Children are welcome and encouraged to come. So it's not just, it is for mothers, but like I say, we support family. So a lot of times mothers can't come because they need someone to watch the kids. So this is a whole mother child. It could be a
Right.
family affair. It's up to
Awesome.
them.
Well, I tell you what, we'll be calling you after the program. After you tell I'm a pastor after the service.
After service.
After, after the program to get those tickets so those we can have two winners on this morning. Thank you so much. We hope to get you back on here again though
Saturday.
before Saturday. So I'm gonna try
Okay.
to get you back on here in the morning as well. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you all
you.
so
And I'll
much.
send the link, Bishop.
I
We
already
got
put
it
it
up.
out there. I already
Yeah,
put
we
it
got
out
it
Oh,
there.
up there
okay. Well,
already.
look at y'all. Thank you
Come
so
on.
much. Y'all
Yeah.
have a blessed day.
All right, same to
You
you.
too.
Thank you. Man,
Bye.
great things are happening right here in Macon and Miller, Georgia. Excellent job, ladies. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right, Pastor, you still there?
Yes, sir, I am.
All right. Getting back to this jailhouse. This,
Before we get back,
yes,
Apostle, I need Drive Times help.
yes.
I need Drive Times help because the company I work for, the month of May, we're doing a drive for the veterans.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
The entire month of May,
All right.
um, we were charged with picking a local organization to help,
Mhm.
and we chose the Macon Veterans Center. And
Okay.
so for the entire month of May, we'll be accepting donations such as, soap, toothpaste,
Gotcha.
Awesome.
toothbrushes, body washes, socks, T-shirts, you know, shampoo, things like that. A lot of times the veterans that have been left by the wayside, they're not privy or don't have access to. So
Okay.
for the entire month of May, we'll be accepting donations um, for those type toiletries and things of that nature. And anyone that is anyone interested and wanting to help, just bring the donations to 605 Sherland Drive.
Wow.
Title Max at 605 Sherland Drive, and the end of the month we're going to take everything that we have, and we're going to take it to the Macon Veteran Center in an effort to try to help the veterans out, because a lot of times these people have put their lives on the line for this country,
Wow, man.
and a lot of times they don't receive the proper care that they deserve.
You better believe it.
Because if anyone deserves to be taken care of by this government, it is
It is the
those that
veterans.
made the choice
You better believe
to
it.
go and put their lives on the line for this country.
Better believe it. You better believe it. Thank you, man. But let's support that. I'm a veteran as well, so let's support that. 605 Shirlington Drive, Title Max. Please drop it off today. Drive time. Let's get by there and support Reverend Odoms this morning. Reverend Odoms said, find out there's an inmate, Bishop. To find out there's an inmate this morning that has died in our local jailhouse. Um, there is something going on about inmates matters, which is our topic this morning. What do you think um, is the I don't care? Let's just play this. I don't care attitude is from. I mean, let's just call it out. That's what it is.
It's
So
just I don't. What are the details surrounding? Was it natural causes? What are
Well,
the details?
well, I'm
right.
just saying the whole, not just this today. The whole, the 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 overlooked care of the jail, the
Okay.
overcrowdedness, the um, just the foolishness that's there.
So I think it goes back to what Reverend Odom said earlier, accountability. Who exactly is responsible for the care and upkeep? And that's who needs to be put on blast so that these things can be brought up to standard.
but that's what that is so true. That's what I was talking about earlier. We are afraid to call. Who's responsible? Victor Hill
Right,
was responsible for Clayton
right,
County Jail,
right,
right? The
right.
sheriff is
Well,
responsible for the Bibb County
ultimately, that's
Jail.
who's
That's
responsible.
who's responsible. And if we don't say something, if we don't say the truth about it, we'll just keep overlooking that and just saying, oh well, yeah, he's a Democrat, or it's okay, or not it'll be over after a while. But
Yeah.
that's ultimately, and Bishop, you have to admit, you said it earlier. People were afraid to go to crime went down in Clayton
Right.
County.
But now, what I'm saying in that is Victor Hill was responsible for the policies that happened within, but was he responsible for the upkeep? Is that a county thing? You got what I'm saying? Because it's a county facility. So then, therefore, would the sheriff be responsible for the
I think so.
upkeep of it? Or would he just be responsible for what happens in it? So you got what I'm saying? Who
Yeah, but
indeed is responsible
as
for
a
the upkeep of
as a
it?
pastor, me as a pastor, anything go wrong in my house or in my church, I'm gonna take accountability of it.
That's us though. That's how we operate. Now other denominations
Well,
operate differently.
right. I just received some information that
Hmm.
the accountability is the share.
Okay.
Yeah, it goes to the
So
share.
I was just asking for clarity because in a
Well,
particular
I
instance like
feel
that, you want to make sure that you are putting it on the right person.
yeah, and I understand where you're coming from, Bishop. He's
Hmm.
he's responsible for what goes on in,
Right.
and if funding is an issue,
Hmm.
who's responsible for making sure that it's funded properly?
Right.
If the jail is outdated, I think it's 40 some odd years old. And if it's outdated and needs to be renovated or brought up to standard, who's responsible for making sure that those
But what
funds are
is
So
allocated?
but what
so
is so
that's why I
funny
say, is
is
it the
that
sheriff or is it the mayor? Which one we
I
going with?
think it runs deeper than because, like you say, Bishop, he's responsible for what happens in the walls, but he doesn't allocate funds.
right. It
Okay.
says that the sheriff is responsible for the upkeep, but a majority of the county commissioners must approve funding for the new jail. L.J.
Okay.
Malone said the sheriff is the manager and the
Macon Bibb
Macon Bibb
County
County is
is
the
the
owner.
owner. Right.
All are
Yeah.
responsible.
Right.
So there's that you can. So this is an instance where we have to hold everyone.
Right.
Yeah, can he do better as far as upkeep? Yes.
Hmm.
Can they do better as far as funding to make sure it is up to snuff?
Right.
Yes.
Right.
But it's almost like if I bought meat at IGA, not want to bring up Will Methods, but if I bought meat at IGA and I went home and cooked it wrong, I can't blame IGA for the mess.
This is true.
Yeah, the only way
I
you could
cooked it.
blame IGA is if it was bad
It
when
was
they sold it.
it was
Right.
bad when they sold it to me. But if it was not bad when they sold it to me and I came and made a mess out of it,
Right.
now, there's no need of me suing IGA. Ain't no need
This
of
is
me
true.
going
No.
after the meat company.
And I think what we have to do a lot of times we get caught up in accountable. We have to hold them
We
accountable.
have to.
Now, once we hold them accountable, we can't make, we can't make, we can't get so stuck on holding them accountable that we forget that we're trying to fix a problem.
Well, yeah. No, just listen.
Do you see? Do you see
I
what I'm
do.
saying?
I do understand that. But if we keep overlooking truth, if we keep overlooking facts, we're still going to babysit foolishness. That's just it. We're still
I
gonna.
feel you.
Yeah, we're
That's
still
what
gonna
I'm
do it.
saying. We have to, if we're going to bring about change, just like we have to be strategic and efficient in our effort to bring about the change.
Right.
Now, once we identify who's being held responsible, who's accountable, then hold them, and then we have to make sure that we push them. Don't just, a lot of times we'll bring up who's
Right.
accountable,
Right.
and then that's where the fight dies.
Right, but then
You
then
see? Do you
yeah.
see what I'm
Oh,
saying?
I do. But also in doing so, like they say here, the mayor is the highest seat in the city, responsible for all lives in Macon and Bibb County. Okay, as it go down, as it trickle down, and the people are saying, "Hey, let's do this. Hey, let's do that." But most of the people that are saying, "Hey, let's do for a picture, do for to be put in the paper, and then after that, ain't nothing done."
Well, I would say
That's what I'm saying. We got to
exactly what you said.
fight.
But I will still say this: if you remember, we just had a candid conversation with Commissioner Lucas, and she made mention of the fact that they've been doing it for so long, they've been fighting for so long. Some of them are tired because while they're
Yep.
fighting, they're not getting the
Yep.
support that they need. So
Yes.
for the frontline fighters, we literally, as a community, have to back them so that we can push them through to do what they need to do. I mean, the truth of the matter is, you might be fighting for a minute, but after a minute, you really get tired when you
Yeah.
don't get the response that you're
Well,
supposed to get.
well, let's talk about that as well. What you said is so true, and what Commissioner said is so true. But what has happened, Bishop, too, we talked about this, is that a lot of people that respect some of the people in office have disappointed a lot of our voters in a sense of, wait a minute, I thought you was going to do this for me when you got there, and then you just as corrupt or kept the corruption going, or and no offense to anyone, but I think that it is time that we get these 30,000 voters that we're talking about, and let's go in and navigate leadership, new leadership, in a sense
Zero
of
Odoms for me.
Reverend Odoms for mayor, L.J. Malone.
I hear you. But a lot of times too, sometimes those that have been fighting a long time, they'll say they're tired, but then they won't allow anybody to take their place.
Ooh, all right. I'm gonna let you hang up now, cause boy, you said something.
I'm
Now
just
this
saying,
is true,
It
don't
is the
tell
truth.
me,
I'm
but
don't
tired.
tell me you tired of fighting.
right?
And then when I'm trying to offer you some support, and I'm trying to, maybe your season is over.
Shots
Right.
fired.
Patrick Davis says some current elected officials may not want. Let's go back up. Sakita Maxwell said the mayor is the post commander and the sheriff is military police chief under their leadership. L.J. Malone said absolutely this requires a collective effort, Bishop, on all levels. Patrick Davis says some current elected officials may not want to be held accountable, and this is why new candidate must emerge. Yeah,
True.
with a strategy and a vision and win elections and persuade more black voters to come out to vote.
So
That's
now
why.
let me give
That's why.
an example of exactly what he just got through talking about. If you notice, Desmond has been on the water board for a minute. He's been trying to get there because he saw some stuff that's been happening, right? So we got him on the water board, and now we got Commissioner Lucas on the water board, and some things are being exposed about the water board, which have been going on under everybody's nose the entire time. So now that that's been said, now that that's been exposed, it's up to us to double down to make sure that what needs to happen happens with that. Because when you look at your water bill is up there. And I see for where we live and here, the water bill here is way more expensive. And you get what I'm saying? So there's corruption across the board with some other things that have been misappropriated, things that have been brought out. But now, just like we did the other day, we had to show up at a meeting to let them know that disrespect will not be tolerated. We had to show up to let them know that other voices need to be heard as well in order for a change to be made. So we see some things starting to creep in and some things starting to happen, but we have to support them so that they can actually carry it through and make sure that our voice, because if we're the majority, our voice needs to be heard in a majority type way.
Right. Right. I agree.
You know, and I agree with that. I agree with everything that Bishop says, and we just, I get it. You get tired because that's the thing. That's one of the biggest things I see wrong with government on all levels.
Right. Now,
People
now,
go,
the question,
you know,
the
that's
question.
a that's a that's a seasonal job.
Right.
Right.
I do have a question here, and that's why I guess research is so important. We've had mayor for 40 years, I guess. The same person that's been here for 40 years, been the mayor for 40 years. Is that true? Do anybody
Say that
know
again now.
that? How long have the local sheriff been in office here?
I
He's
guess it's
been
been
there
three
for quite
terms.
some time.
And the question is, um, has county ever been denied funding? We cannot accurately say that
Wow.
funding has been denied. Has
Right. Wow.
funding been denied?
But
Wow.
that's not what we're saying.
No, I didn't say you. We were saying it is something
Hmm.
I'm reading and just
Okay,
kind of throwing out so that I know everybody that's typing or texting. I'm letting them know I hear them.
Hmm.
Um,
gotcha.
that's what I'm saying. And so, how long has the sheriff been here? Is the question. Anybody know? 12 years.
4 terms. So it's 4 terms. I thought it was three, but
Four,
it's 4 terms.
12-year, four
Yeah.
terms. All right. Has funding ever been denied? Is the question.
Ooh, has funding never been requested?
Well, I mean,
Yeah, has funding never been asked for?
right.
Right.
Black voters must take the next year's spring election, May 2026, more seriously. If we want to change our community, it is not just about voting in November, President. It's all the
Exactly.
way true.
That's
All
what
the
we
way true.
say. All of them.
Sheriff
Every
Davis been
election.
there since 2012. And well, listen, we're not knocking Sheriff Davis. Thank you for the job that you do, and we
Hmm.
certainly appreciate you. But what I am saying to our community is, um, this is time where if it's going to be change, it's going to have to be change that we make, not so much waiting on the sheriff to make or the mayor to make, because sometimes agendas become self-agendas and not the people agendas.
Well, that's true.
Just
That's
saying.
true. And like the fighters, accept help.
Right.
Yeah. But you know
It,
what, Pastor and Bishop, when my brakes go to squeaking, I know it's getting time to change the brakes. And if you don't change the brakes, they're scrubbing to the rotor. Once
So
you get
true.
into the rotor, you can mess up the caliber. From the
yeah,
caliber,
you throw the whole
you
system
can
off.
map the whole system out. So when we see here, the thing is, how long has the system been squeaking, and then
Right.
nobody changed the brakes?
You
Now
know,
the
it's
rotor is
like
messed up.
it's like Moses. If Moses had been unwilling for those young men to hold his arms up, they wouldn't have won the battle
True. That's good.
because he was unable to hold them up himself. He was old,
Exactly.
Right,
Exactly.
right. They held his arms up.
You doubling
Man,
down on
this
and
that
is
they
a
old.
held his arms up.
yes.
You doubling down on that old. I'm gonna leave that alone.
And then too, I'm going to ask that we find young candidates that are already doing the work
Right.
to put them up to run for offices in this area.
Right.
And they're not. Sometimes we are our own worst enemy because the person may be qualified, but because they don't look a certain way,
Right,
Hmm.
and and they not appealing to the eye,
right,
and they may,
and not a part of the alumni.
they're not a
Right.
part of the old guard.
Right,
Then we don't put any validity behind what they're trying to do, and that's not right.
yeah. That's why
But
this
then we'll turn
30,000
around.
voters, getting these 30,000 committed voters, is so important. It
It
is.
is.
It's important. All that we saying, and it's so true. Everything we said. If we don't get these 30,000 that says, "Listen, we want to make change. We want to do this," it's gonna be the same. You mean to tell me to win an election, some of the people won by 8,000 votes? That
Right.
ain't no win.
None.
But it's a win.
It
But
is.
when, but when you win, but you understand what I'm saying, Bishop Reverend Odoms?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
You know, it's
I do.
almost like a church buying a lawnmower and the church split over the lawnmower.
Over the lawnmower.
Ain't it happen?
Oh, I forgot you did. Okay,
So it happened.
I forgot about that. Fool.
I mean, but little simple stuff like that is crazy, but it happens. It really
Boy,
does
shut
happen.
up. Yeah. What's it, Bishop?
I say it's crazy, but it really does happen.
It
Just
does
just
happen.
because of that.
But
you
Pastor,
know, you
I think
can't,
this has been a hot topic.
and the push we have to leave feelings. See, a lot of times we vote with our feelings as
True.
opposed to voting for what's actually in the best interest of the people.
Correct.
Let me read this real quick. The sheriff responsibility. The sheriff is elected official responsible for operating and maintaining the county jail. This includes ensuring the safety, health, and welfare of the inmates, as well as protecting the public and jail staff. Georgia Sheriff Association, the organization, provide resources and support to the sheriff and jail officers to help them maintain safe and efficient jail operation. State involvement. While the sheriff is the primary operator, the state government also has oversight responsibilities. This include ensuring compliances with state and federal laws regarding jail operations, as well as providing funding and resources to support jail operation. Private prisons. In some cases, private companies may operate jail facilities under contract with the state or local government. However, the ultimate responsibility for the operation and management of the jail typically remains with the state or local government. But
it's local.
the sheriff's responsibility is the elected official responsible for operating and maintaining the county jail. This includes ensuring safety, health, and welfare of inmates, as well as protecting the public and jail safe.
So in so many words, you're saying you rented a property from me, right? Even though it is my responsibility for the bones of the property, I won't know what needs to be done until you let me know. And if you don't let me know, then I can't correct the problem.
Yeah, it's like if
So
you're renting a property, if you don't
exactly,
let the landlord know what's wrong, he won't know that
exactly.
there's a problem.
So
I,
ultimately,
I
it's the
think
tenant
that
that's
I,
responsible for
I,
making sure that the upkeep happens.
I
Um,
actually, I
Apostle,
actually,
can I say this right
yes.
quick? Sometimes the fight stops because we have one person that we have our eyes on to hold accountable, and then somebody else that we might like, accountability falls on them too, and so in an effort not to hurt them or make them look bad, we'll stop the fight.
Right. This is true.
LJ Malone says, right, Uncle Tonzio, the gatekeeping and nepotism needs to cease so that can be a true passing of the torch.
Yeah.
Man,
A lot of times people would say they're tired of fighting, but they're not tired of the position. They're tired of the responsibility, but they're not tired of the status and quote unquote power that the position holds.
And the money.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, of
Right.
course. I'm totally with you. And I really appreciate the voices of the community this morning. Because as we know, as we push here on the station, again, I'm going to say, and I'll keep saying it until we echo it, until we get those 30,000 committed voters that says we're going to stick together, we're going to make the decision for who's in the office next, we're going to help push, and we're not, I'm like you, Bishop and Pastor, we're not talking about people we like, because there's a lot of people that we may not like that's going to tell us the truth, you know. And
Thank you.
so my thing is, let's stick with truth in all that we do. Man, it's been a great morning though already.
You
It
right.
has been.
And one last thing. Now, when you tell me you're tired, be honest about what you're tired of.
Mm.
Ooh, ooh. Shots
Tell me
fired.
what time it is, man. It don't matter. What time is it?
It's dry time.
Right here at 980 WTDO. Let's get another call in here, 478 250 1444. 478 What do you think about this topic this morning? I think it is really going well. Good morning, caller. You on there?
Good morning, Apostle. This is Commissioner Bryant.
Hey,
How are you?
Commission. Wonderful. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. So, I had to call in about this. But because I heard a lot of stuff, and I'm really I'm going to let you ask me some questions, and then I can answer. Coming from the jail, I worked there, I'm going to say approximately 12 years.
Yes, ma'am.
And so I started in 99. I went out in 2009, went back in 2021 to 2024. So I'm going to let you ask me the questions that they want to know so I can tell you from my perspective.
Ooh.
Okay. Who's responsible for the welfare, the health
And so I
of
went
the
in,
jail?
the deputies and the sheriff.
Okay, so they hold responsibility for the welfare, the health, and the safety of these people.
Yes.
All right. Funding for the jail, is it rejected or does it just come in automatically or is it requested?
The sheriff has to turn in the budget. It is up to the commissioners and the mayor or whoever, the city council. In this case, it's us to vote on it. He has to turn in the budget. And with this splosh, I was hoping to see it. I didn't see it, but I'm not sure if we're finished yet. But he has to turn in the budget saying what he needs. I know we bought land, meaning the county bought land, supposedly a couple of years ago off of 7th Street for the new jail. So I'm just trying to see, if they're going to get started on it. I'm not sure how much it costs to build a new jail, but they do need one.
How much responsibility do the mayor play in this, being the mayor of the city?
The mayor is responsible for the funding. Him and the commissioners. We're a county of the whole. That means that when it's voted on, you have to have, in order to get the vote, you're going to have to have at least 6 people on that board of commissioners to vote in favor of the funding for the jail. I can say that in the past years that they've been putting a band-aid on the old jail. I saw something about people saying about the plumbing. They did come in and overhaul the plumbing, but that's just like putting a band-aid on it. You have inmates, and I can give you two sides of it.
I'm good.
You have inmates that purposely, some mental health inmates that purposely will stick stuff down in the plumbing so that it stops it up, it floods it, so that the officer can come to the block.
Okay.
Um, you're supposed to do block checks every hour to check on the inmates. So I can tell you about me. If I'm working the block, I'm going to go to the block and I'm going to check the inmates. I need to see their face. You can't answer for Bishop Scott. I need to see Bishop Scott. I need to check your armband. If you work the blocks a lot, you get to know who the faces, so you know who's on the block. Um, it's a lot going on in the sheriff's department, and I'm not trying to throw them under the bus because I just left from there. But the jail with the sheriff, he has to deal with not only the deputies, the inmates, he has to deal with the public, and he knows that the jail is falling apart, but he has to rely on the people that work in there that stay in there to give him a report of the things that's going on. Does that kind of make sense?
Of course it
Mhm.
does. Of course it does. Bishop, you have
Okay,
a
so
question?
go
He
ahead.
has
Yeah,
comments.
my question to our LJ Malone says the mayor paid to make sure he got the commissioners he wanted in office, so he needs to lead the efforts in making sure LEC gets what it needs without deflecting responsibility. True. So my question too is, if money is requested and it's denied, do you agree that with the jurisdictional system that cases are being little small. I mean, I have visited jails, of course, that people are in jail for a ticket. I mean, I literally have met people that's in there for a ticket for a year. Is that?
We had, I'm sorry. We had that discussion at a town hall meeting, and I asked the DA, could she check into that? Because some of that stuff is true. We had someone there by the name of Captain Boatwright. And if you came in there for something small like that, to keep the jail from being overcrowded, he would give you what they call an OR bond, or he would give you, if it was just probation, maybe you pissed dirty over the weekend, he would give you a summons after a weekend to go back and see your probation officer. So I don't think we have that anymore. I don't know who stopped it. I don't know why it was stopped.
Do you agree that it's overcrowded?
I do agree.
Okay.
I do agree that it's overcrowded.
Tia Lockhart says, when the county bought the land, was there already a plan being strategized for building of the jail and the implementation of services that will actually assist with the mental health and behavior issue of the incarcerated?
Now, I saw that they bought the land, but I did not see a plan, and that's one of the things that I'm going to ask for. And I heard L.J. Malone say about he tried to put people in place, but tell L.J. look at God, because the people that he put money on didn't win. So it wasn't his plan.
Right.
It wasn't his plan.
What do you think about this hot topic? Well, this station making sure that the public knows what's happening.
The public, you're making sure the public is aware of everything, and you keep us abreast of on the hot topic.
Wow. Thank you so much, Commissioner. You're doing a wonderful job. Whatever we can help with here, Bishop Scott and I, we're here to help push and promote you.
Thank you.
All right.
You have a great day.
What time it is?
It's drive time.
All right, it's happening right here. Next caller, 478-250. 478-250-1444. If you got a concern this morning, this is a good time to call. This is Hot Topic Wednesday. Bishop had it in here ready when I got when I got here this morning. Bishop, what do you think about this morning?
Listen, this morning was excellent. That's why it's very important that the community as a whole be informed as to what's happening so that you would know what's affecting you. So don't complain about something later when you had an opportunity to be privy to, what exactly would be the outcome. So you have a voice in the outcome, so make sure your voice is heard. We're trying to make sure you know that your voice is heard.
Good morning, caller. You on the air?
Hey, good morning, Chief. Is that Deacon?
Hey, Deacon Desmond Brown. How you doing, man?
All right. I'm calling in to give a shout out to the Democratic Party of Middle Georgia. President Ronaldo Scott with change.org. They are putting light on what I've been blowing the whistle about, Chief, and that is we need transparency. We need an investigation. We need an uncovering. We need a revelation on the purchase cards, possible abuse at the Make Water Authority.
Now that's been a request for a look into several things here, especially the finances of the water board. Is that correct?
That's correct. I mean, that's what we're calling on, and we're pretty much. They've started a petition. The Democratic Party, President Ronaldo Scott has started a petition, and we need for people to sign, to click on the link that they're sharing. It's on social media, and actually sign it because, as Bishop said earlier in the show, these water rates, man, you guys, if you all saw the text that I get, the emails I got an email the other day from Miss Jenkins that ran against Commissioner Bryan. It's issues over there in Westgate that she just sent me yesterday. And when you're looking at all of this spending that's going on and they're taking in all these fees, people are saying, well, where's the work at? What's going on? So we need transparency. And this station, I want to commend WDDO for assisting us and giving us a voice in this community to get the word out to the public.
Well, we were told a couple of weeks ago that with this radio station being part of the media of Middle Georgia, that a lot of media cuts out what's important or gives certain sections that that's really not important, and the important part they don't see or is not heard. LJ Malone says Seth Clark and Valerie Wynn vote with him regardless, so he has the majority that he needs this just like he does for everything else. Wow, man. Boy, this is heavy stuff this morning, Desmond.
Absolutely,
The,
absolutely. And
the,
again,
how important is the 30,000?
the 30,000 is should be on everybody's mind, and it's going to take the streets.
It's
It's
going to
not
take.
going to come from the church. The church people, they're going to vote. So let's not put our resources on going to church to church to church to get people and to talk to people. They're going to vote regardless. We need to be out here in these streets. We need to be in Unionville. We need to be in Fort Hill. We need to be in South Macon. We need to be in Bellevue on at the convenience stores, talking to the homies. You're scared to talk to the homies, but they don't have felons, and they're over the age of 18. They have an address. They can vote, Chief.
Wow.
We gotta go back to the source. We gotta use what Trump did. Trump used what we've been here some call the hillbilly tactic. He didn't go after the white collar business, Americans. He went to the rural, and that's how he took the storm. He took the presidency. He
What?
got more people who didn't vote to vote, and we got to do that same thing. We got to go to the streets, Chief.
Well, when we say, and what I love about what we're saying this morning, Desmond, is that inmate lives matter. And notice we didn't say black lives. We say it's inmate because white, black, African, Chinese, Japanese, all cultures are in that jail. And if it's deplorable, if it's not, it affects the whole. It affects the whole community. As I said, when something, if a mother is home and her child is in jail and she see the situation with the young man, you don't think it brings panic to people sitting at home about my child in there, be it male or female? Your answer.
Yes, it will, and it does, and even to the point where we know our children, Chief. We know that any day that could happen to our child. Let's just be real. There are people in jail who were put there by the status quo just because they could. There are people that are in jail who are there just because someone said, "Hey, I saw them do it," and now you got to spend all this money to be proven
We proved
that
I
you're
didn't do it.
that
Wow.
you're innocent, and you in those conditions.
Wow.
That's unacceptable.
Well, man, I think that this is awesome. There is something going on this. Is it today, or has it already went on a march or something near the jail or something? Do you know of anything of that?
No, sir. I've been pushing change.org Democrat petition for transparency. My apologies.
Okay.
Because this is a big issue,
Yes, sir.
and I would encourage your listeners to show up tomorrow at the Make-A-Water Authority meeting.
What time is that
We're going to
meeting?
be there from the committee meeting starts at 2 p.m. and the public meeting starts at 4 p.m. for people who want to come and let your voices be heard to the board. Come and address us with your concerns.
Well, Desmond, we do want to say thank you, man. You really, I've seen you in action. I mean, people think you just, you don't just talk, brother. I've seen you in action. And you was like, this, the people voted for me to sit in this seat.
And I'm going to sit
And
right
I'm
here.
going to sit right here. You going to tell me. I said, good God from Zion. I said, go Desmond, go Desmond, go Desmond. But thank you, man, for all the work that you do. Bishop?
Desmond, we do appreciate you. We really do. That's why, and I thank you for your resilience because you, regardless of, what came at you, how it came, stood in the midst of adversity just to make sure that the community's voice was
That's
heard
right.
and that they had representation. So we really appreciate you. And thank you for rallying other people in the community to know and understand what's going on as well. We appreciate you.
Man. Thank you, Desmond. Tell me what time it is, my brother.
All right. It's drive
It's
time.
happening right here at 980 WDDO 851 on the wall, Bishop. We've gone quite a long time this morning. Listen, audience, thank you so much. We are concerned about the community. 107.9 FM on your dial is a voice for the community. We are a media group that want you to know what's happening in your city, and we will always bring truth to Thank you. I'm saying it. Truth to the air. To the air. He's saying it. He's typing as I'm saying it, Bishop. Truth to the airways. Bishop.
He posted something the other day that said, the beautiful thing about truth is that it can always be researched and measured. And that is so true.
Yes,
So we appreciate, just the fact that we have an opportunity and an outlet to do it. We are the community's voice. We are determined to be the community's voice because we love the community and we want the community to love itself as much as we love it. It's drive time. We appreciate you for being the best part of WDDO.
And don't forget Friday, we're taking the senior citizens. We'll leave here at 8 o'clock
Yes.
we'll leave here at 8 o'clock in the morning, going to Savannah, Georgia. That's Friday, this Friday, 8 a.m. We'll be taking you to Pooler to go shopping. From there to Carrie Hilliard's to eat. From there to take a brief walk down the riverfront right there in Savannah, Georgia. And then we'll have you back here about 5:30, 6 o'clock that evening because some of you go to bed with the chickens. And we want to make sure that your home is safe and a good time. We'll be leaving here at 8 o'clock. It's $10 to ride the bus, and you will have a great time. We'll see you on tomorrow. It's Drive Time with Vertise, Rosie, and Don Scott. We say have an incredible day, and we love you. Thank you for always being the best part of 980 WDDO. I hit the button.
Middle Georgia, help welcome to the WDDO Sunday lineup, the Mount Lebanon Missionary Baptist Church, Reverend Dr.